too bad. Brunel, to all of this sexism, this argument, this attack on him, what I would ask you is he just trying to defend himself? Because it seems like he would say the same about man or woman.
I believe that the president is simply trying to defend himself. And honestly, I believe that he deals with men and women with the same energy. I mean, he calls Bernie Sanders crazy, Hillary crooked. He called Ted Cruz lying Ted. He called, Marco, little Marco. I mean, that's our president. But what the problem is that you have media that should be focusing on edifying the nation by telling us the information we need to know, filling us in on the facts, and instead they're using their emotions and politics as a platform as opposed to doing what journalists are supposed to do, and that's to inform the people.
All right, I know you have some
thoughts. He's pushing back on that.
So many thoughts on this 4th of July weekend. I totally disagree. And I think that while, yes, this is our president who does lobby or throw these insults out on everybody, there are only women who he talks about ever using the words blood. Right? I mean, he said about Megyn Kelly that she had blood coming out of her nose or her wherever. Mika Brzezinski, blood leaking down her face. We've seen pictures from that weekend. She did not have blood leaking down her face. He has a fascination with it when he talks about women. He's made a number of sexist comments. We know when he went after Carly Fiorina, said, look at that face. That was blatantly sexist. And I find it really disturbing, especially to hear from women, that we can't have that discussion about feelings that the President of the United States of America has about women.
What about comments to him, though, Jessica? Because he's the President of the United States, and I don't know if we've seen comments made about a president among our media.
I don't know, people went pretty hard against Barack Obama.
Jessica, you have seen those clips from Mika, for example, and I'm not saying, I'm not defending her, defending him. I'm just saying you hear what she said about him, calling him a goon, calling him mentally ill, dementia, talking about the size of his hands. This is not just some random guy. This is someone who is the President of our United States. So across the board,
I don't agree with that, and I've spoken about that before on the news channel, and I've said I don't think it was appropriate. I think that it hurts the level of national discourse. I also think that because Mika and Joe actually fueled this campaign, as they said, we used to be friends with this person. They had him on there.
Right.
They were defending him, and they went after Hillary Clinton really hard, and it certainly hurt her campaign. When you think about the audience that MSNBC has, who's watching there might have been a lot of moderate Democrats who were out there, or left-leaning Democrats who said, no, I'm going with Bernie Sanders, and then maybe they voted Jill Stein. Maybe they didn't show up to vote. So listen, Mika and Joe have caused a lot of damage themselves, but it doesn't make sexist attacks and using the office of the presidency at this low level appropriate.
Well, Brunel, you are a Democrat.
What I would say is that you don't, yes,
Brunel,
I am a Democrat, and I am a Democrat, and when you live in the glass house, you don't throw stones. Oh, yes, I'm a Democrat who voted for Donald J. Trump. I voted for the change agent, the outsider, yes. And so what I would say is this.
Low level appropriate.
Well, Brunel, you are a Democrat.
What I would say is that you don't, yes,
Brunel,
I am a Democrat, and I am a Democrat, and when you live in the glass house, you don't throw stones. You don't throw stones. Oh, yes, I'm a Democrat who voted for Donald J. Trump, and when you live in the glass house, you don't throw stones. Oh, yes, I'm a Democrat who voted for Donald J. Trump.